Well, Goldman Sachs under fire from regulators and politicians. What is next for the storied Wall Street firm? Can it recover? CNN9's Richard Quest joins us now. I want to get right to your point on this, and that is that this could be the downfall of Goldman Sachs. Really?
All right. Americans love big. They love brash. They even love brutal. And Goldman has been big, brash and brutal the way it has handled itself during the crisis. But what people don't like is unfair. Now, you may well say to me, as a colleague did, yes, but Goldman doesn't deal retail. Why does Goldman care?
Right.
Because politicians deal retail. And if there is now a whipping boy, a la Enron or a la WorldCom, if there is somebody you can now pin this crisis on, you're in trouble.
And Goldman Sachs, Richard, has been making the headlines for the last year in terms of bad publicity, bad PR. The firm has not spoken out. They have not talked to the people.
Because they don't believe they've needed to.
They don't think they have to,
No,
but isn't that a superior point of view?
Of course it is. Of course it is.
And then you have Gordon Brown, Prime Minister of the UK, coming out and attacking Goldman's moral bankruptcy.
Well, you've got to ask yourself, and I don't have an answer to this, and I'm not saying one way or the other. But you've got to say to yourself, Goldman seems to have its finger in just about every pie that's gone sour publicly. Mm-hmm. Now, that is inevitable in the sense it is one of Wall Street's largest investment and securities houses. It is inevitable that Goldman will have had a piece of every pie, whether it's a small bit, whether it was the issuer, whether it was the underwriter, whether it was the trader, whether it was the banker. It's going to be involved. But they all stink. And when something stinks, if you look largely and far enough down, you will find a piece of rotting fish.
What does this do, Richard, for the Wall Street reform debate?
Does
this help get something through Congress?
Well, whether it helps get something through, yes, of course it does. But it's given politicians a whipping boy. And I don't care if Goldman is the largest contributor to one political party or the other. I don't care if former chief execs have gone on to be major administration officials. The midterms are just about upon us.
Does Lloyd Blankfein need to come out and finally speak to the public?
What worries me with Goldman is not whether he needs to, but it's whether they realise they need to do something. Or is their ivory tower so high up, and are they looking down on the little people from such a great height as they expectorate all over them that, frankly, they don't necessarily realise it. But when I see editorials like the New York Times...
Krugman's.
The Times, the Financial Times, which says there are questions to answer.
Right.
When I see respected people saying, hang on, what were you doing? Why is your name attached? I don't see Barcap attached to every smelly trade and deal on Wall Street. I don't see all the other banks, Bank of America, smelly names. I don't see all these others, but I see this one name again and again and again. And nobody's rushing to the defence other than this extraordinarily weak PR announcement on Friday. What was it? There are, we will
vigorously defend.
We will, in fact and in law.
Yeah.
The moment somebody says we're going to vigorously defend in fact and in law, I start to wonder.
Richard, thank you so much.